Hello, Lake Orion. Hope you had a great week. I know I sure did. I'll tell you what, I'm your host. I'm Ian Witherspoon, and I am between Taorminas. Welcome to the program this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joined, as always, by the two boys, the Taorminas. Sammy to my right, Antonio to my left. How you boys doing today?
Hanging in there,
You feeling all right?
Yeah, hanging in there.
You both took a bit of a beating this week. Huh?
Well, we didn't have our top throwers.
All right, we'll move on. Okay, we're going to talk national, somewhat local, regional sports, Tigers.
Yep.
The curse of Brandon Inge lives on. And we have some playoff action to get to, some Horizon League, Oakland action to get to. A lot of stuff, chock full of activities today. Where should we start? Tigers?
Yes, go Tigers.
So the bats came alive last night.
Yes.
Okay. But so did another bat.
Yep, Brandon Inge. I told you Brandon Inge would have a good year, but I didn't expect for another team.
Well, how do you feel about that?
Well, I'm happy for Brandon Inge. I mean, look what he's done. Brandon Inge, he needed a new start. Thankfully, he got picked up real quick. I learned last night that, of course, Oakland needed a third baseman to play every day ever since Scott Sizemore was out.
Another former Tiger.
But I think this is a good start for Brandon Inge, and I think that he could help Oakland in the long haul. You can't stomach that picture, can you?
No, I can't. I couldn't stomach it with an old English D on either.
Well, you got to honestly be happy for the guy. You should be happy for him because you look at, he didn't get the job done in Detroit,
right.
And obviously you have to get results. He went to a place where they really needed a third baseman.
Need anything.
They found a true third baseman in Brandon Inge, and he's been producing for them. If he hit a grand slam against the Blue Jays, hit one last night against the Tigers. But right now, he's hot right now. I mean, he had just gotten off of, he was doing very cold in Detroit. Obviously not playing every day. Now he's playing every day at Oakland. But eventually, that hot streak is going to last. It's going to end.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know when Yoster Sapanis guy.
Yoenis
Sapanis, yeah.
Yoenis Cespedes.
When he comes, I know he's been injured.
Yeah.
So I've been very curious, wanting to see him.
Yeah.
He could play in the series against the Tigers.
That'd be great.
Then again, let's look at what the Tigers have. They throw Fister tonight. They have Porcello tonight.
Yeah.
Fister Saturday.
Yep.
Verlander Sunday. I think if you look at it with this perspective, I think this will be a good series for the Tigers. Nice bounce back.
I really hope so.
Well, if you look at the pitching matchup, you base it upon the pitching matchup. You've got, you got three of the better pitchers as well. You also had Scherzer go last night, and he had a really good He had a good outing last night.
Would have liked to see him go full 7.
But obviously the issue with the Tigers is the bullpen. Obviously, Valverde didn't have to play last night. Benoit didn't have to play last night.
They played.
They ended up playing.
Didn't have to.
They didn't have to.
Right.
But you looked at if accountability's got to rest with the Tigers bullpen. If you look at how Phil Koch, he gave up the grand slam to Inge.
I think it was Ballister.
It was Ballister that gave up the grand
slam.
Still, the bullpen is being an issue right now. And this was a game that the Tigers should have won handily.
Yeah.
It should not have been this close.
Should not have been 10-6.
Well, if you look at the bullpen, everybody in the league is having, and the majors have having bullpen trouble. Let's look at with the Tigers. You look at all the pitching stabs right now. It's common in baseball because there's gonna be times where you're gonna have a big lead, and then there's gonna be times where you're just gonna relax. You know, that's what happened with the Tigers last night.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, you know, also, if you wanna really wanna look at a soap opera, look at Boston. You know,
Yeah.
did you hear Josh Beckett? You hear he get booed?
No.
He got booed, and they're playing the Indians.
Not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Those people in Boston are a little crazy.
I think that's your opinion.
Well,
They're fuming.
I
They're still fuming,
know
yes.
people from that area. They're a little strange.
Yes.
All right, so Tigers overall, 16-15 now, right?
Yes.
Game over 500. Level of concern, because obviously this is not what most people expected.
I would say level of concern maybe a 6 right now.
6 out of 10?
6 out of 10.
Can you explain your number?
Because if you look at it here, I mean, like, Cleveland's starting to pull away a little bit. I mean, like, you know, if Cleveland can come back to the pack, you know, that's going to really help the Tigers. Cleveland is going to come back down to the pack. The Tigers are going to start getting hot. I don't think there's any reason to be concerned.
What's your number? Give me a level.
I'm going to say 4.
4?
Mm-hmm. Because I look at it like it's almost, in a sense, deja vu to last year.
Even though we're doing a hair
Cleveland's
better.
had one more year of experience, you know? Well, you got Cleveland. You've got, you know, it's the same situation with the last year. Cleveland was hot.
That's true.
Whereas the Tigers, look who they've played. New York, Boston.
Texas, Tampa.
Yep. Tampa, yep. Whereas Cleveland, you're right. Cleveland hasn't played anyone yet.
They have played the Rangers.
Yeah.
But, you know, my level of concern.
Schedule Tigers.
How about a 1.5 for level of concern? That's me. The only thing I'm concerned about is Valverde.
Valverde, yeah. Benoit stresses you out.
No, I'm cool with Benoit. I think he'll be all right.
Me out. He's concerning me.
Well,
I don't think you get concerned about anything.
Long season, right?
Yes.
Final words on Tigers? You got anything?
Well, you know, if you look at it, you know, Tigers played a brutal schedule, you know what I mean? Like, heck, even what's alarming is they're 1-5 against Seattle. That's something I can't figure out.
Neither can I. We'll move on. You got anything?
You know, I have nothing.
Well, that's fine. Wake me up after the All-Star break. And join us for our next segment here on Between Taorminas. All right, yeah. We will rock you here on Between Taorminas. And listen, NBA, NHL playoffs are starting to get good. The NHL playoffs are always good. The first round matchups were quite good with Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
Philly's gone now. They're both gone.
Boston, Washington went 7.
Gone.
That was fun. But the NBA playoffs, a little lackluster thus far. You got anything for me? You know, when's it really get good?
Well, it usually gets good during the semifinals. I mean, like, you look at with the NBA playoffs, you know, you got the Nuggets and the Lakers are going 7 games. I mean, like, you know, you got the Clippers and the Grizzlies. I think the Clippers can close it out tonight. They're at home at Staples. I mean, like, you know, I would love to see the LA Clippers get to the at least Western Conference Finals. You know what I mean?
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I mean, like, and then, of course, Eastern Conference semis are pretty much set. Philly took out the Bulls yesterday, and then got Miami, Indiana.
Boston beat
them. Atlanta yesterday.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So now that Chicago's gone with no Derrick Rose, I mean, it kind of brings a spark away, you know, because you wanted to see that Miami-Chicago matchup, that kind of marquee matchup. Not going to happen now. What do you think out of the East is watchworthy now?
I think it's the most boringest brand of basketball there is.
Well, there you go.
I think the Miami Heat is probably the most boringest team. A lot of people will disagree with me on that.
Yeah.
I look at, you know, but in my view, it's just, you know, it's like, I'm going to sleep on this.
All right.
Well, I feel like if you, if there's really one team in the East in that conference, a lot of people say, like, it can really threaten Miami, it's Boston. Because, like, you know, I feel like I think Boston can beat Miami this series. You know
really?
What I mean? I think Boston can beat Miami. I mean, like, you know, Boston, you know, they've had experience. They got Garnett, Pierce, Allen, Rondo. I mean, like, I think if you look at it,
you just named a lot of old used cars.
Yep. I think if you look at it, I think Boston, they're going to be fine. You know, I think Boston can eliminate Miami. I know that'll be David Stern's worst nightmare again. But I think if you look at it with David Stern, Usually,
We know how you feel about David Stern.
Yeah, you know, I
Yeah,
called
we
him
do.
out last week. I mean, like
In a very memorable fashion.
Yeah,
Roll footage of that, huh?
yeah, Stern. I still call him that.
He's a chump.
Yeah, he is a hypocrite.
I do think if you look, there is a possibility of a Lakers-Clippers matchup. I think
Be
that it
great.
would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
But as far as the team in the West right now, it's San Antonio, I think.
Really?
I think it's San
Over
Antonio.
Oklahoma City?
Yes. I goes with experience over the type of team Oklahoma City has.
Oklahoma City's the best team in the West right now. I mean, no offense to San Antonio. I mean, like, if you look at it, I think Oklahoma City and the LA Clippers are the two best teams in the Western Conference. Even over the Spurs and the Lakers.
No.
The Lakers
You
are
always go with experience.
the Lakers
over-
are vulnerable against athletic
Teams
point
with
guards.
pick and
Let's
roll.
ask Ty Lawson of the Nuggets. You know, he's killing the Lakers for series.
Mhm. Well, if you look at how I always got to go with experience. Always.
All right. Well, that would put you with Boston and San Antonio in the finals, huh?
That'd be something to watch. That'd
I
be
got
great.
Oklahoma City.
Boy, that
Boston.
would be boring.
I got Oklahoma City.
You got
Boston.
Oklahoma City, Boston?
Yep.
You really
Call
think
me
it's
crazy.
Oklahoma City
I think the
right
Lakers could do it.
Think Lakers can beat Denver?
I think it'd be real tough, but I think the Lakers could possibly come out of the West. That's my underdog, which is strange to say, but I think
That
you
is
got to go with
strange.
OKC. You know,
Talk about real playoffs now. That's the
NHL.
Stanley Cup. Yep. Oh yes.
NHL
Real
playoffs.
Stanley Cup. The real playoffs. You know. LA Phoenix Western Conference Final. That's going to be fun.
That's a goalie
Goalie's
matchup
dream.
there, huh?
Especially, I love Mike Smith's goalie match. You know what I mean? Because there's Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner on there. I mean, like, because like if you look at it, this is gonna be a great series. You know, Phoenix had to go through ownership issues. They've had to go through overcome a lot. You know, and then
Now they're in the East,
and now
Western
they're
Conference Final.
Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And LA also same thing. LA knocked off Vancouver and
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis. That's the first team to knock off a 1-2 in the same year.
And they were an 8 seed.
And they were an 8 seed. Yes, they could match the Oilers.
Got to give, I'm going to take a quote to what Garrett Cologe, you guys know him. You guys know him. Phoenix, Los Angeles is the death of the NHL.
No, it's not.
You don't think so? You don't
They're in the
think
same division.
They're
Yeah,
in the same division.
that's what stars are.
They're in the. It's almost in a sense, no one expected this to happen.
No.
Where it would be L.A. and Phoenix.
Right.
And you know who Phoenix is owned by, right?
Mike Singletary.
No, Gary Bettman.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
NHL. Well, they just got it.
NHL
They just
owned,
got it. They just got an owner approved actually over
Oh,
there
okay.
in Glendale. I mean, like
So they're sticking to
the former
staying
San
there?
Jose State CEO was leading a group to buy the Coyotes. Yeah, they're going to stay in Glendale.
Ugh.
But bottom line is, it's still Gary Bettman's team. Still,
Right now.
eventually, for right now.
For right now,
If you look at
Kind of like Bud Selig going to the Dodgers, huh?
kind of
that's
yes.
not home anymore though.
Well, not anymore, yeah.
But I mean, you look at a lot of people are very upset with that because of the Coyotes are owned by Bettman, and you know how popular Gary Bettman is in the NHL community.
I believe we'll hear about him later on.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah.
So, it's arguably the death of the NHL.
It's not that the NHL. Also got a good Eastern Conference.
Yeah, we didn't even touch on
Crazy. New Jersey, of course, in the Eastern Conference
Which is a
Finals.
big surprise.
Big surprise. They knocked off Philly.
Correct.
Well, then again, Claude Giroux was suspended for Game 5 of that
Yeah.
series. But and then they got Game 7, Washington, New York. I like New York in that
You like
series.
New York coming out of that?
I like New York over Washington. I mean, I think it's going to be New York, New Jersey. We got Phoenix, LA. We got, in my projection for the Stanley Cup Final, it's going to be New York versus LA.
I can't
York,
believe-
LA.
You got to give credit to Martin Brodeur. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
He's still around.
He's still
40.
performing at an elite level.
Yeah. I mean, at 40 years old, got to give him props.
Should get him over to Detroit, have him and Lindstrom on the same team, huh?
Doubt that will happen.
A couple 40-year-olds that can take care of a lot of people.
I still remember Brodeur when he was the goalie in the
95?
from '95.
Wasn't he a rookie that year?
No, and also in 2001 when my Avalanche won the cup. I mean, he's still around. That's unbelievable. You got to give him props for that.
Yeah.
Dude, got to give him props. When he was the goalie when he took on my Stars, when they lost in Stanley Cup Finals in 2000,
Yeah.
Where there's a really good goalie.
Hall
what
of
I mean?
Famer, absolutely.
Hall of Famer. He's right up there with Patrick Waugh. He's right up there with he's right up there with some of the most elite goalies in the NHL.
Jimmy Howard.
Nah, Jimmy Howard's not an elite goalie.
All right,
Well,
final.
just like Nick Lidstrom, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely. Final thoughts on either league's playoffs here, the association or the NHL?
NBA's is boring. NHL's is great.
Okay. Ant, anything?
I have nothing to say.
Again?
Again.
Speechless again, my word. All right, well, we're going to go to another quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little OU basketball, and I think we have some call-outs today,
Oh, yes.
which will be quite a treat, I hear. You're watching Between Taorminas. Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on Orion Neighborhood Television. And we want to touch on a topic we spoke about last week.
Briefly.
And that's Oakland possibly leading the Summit League, take Butler's spot in the Horizon League. Ant, give us the update.
A lot of things have recently exploded, especially with the speculation. With there's been more discussion coming out from from fans, from Oakland supporters, from Oakland alums about Oakland going to the Horizon League. It makes a lot of sense. There's been a story that came out recently that truly confirmed what everybody has been saying, that Detroit was the team that did block Oakland from coming into the Horizon League in 2000, and it's really exposing Detroit as a team that
Scared.
that's afraid to have somebody else in their own backyard join their league. I did notice some things that were very I didn't say last week. There's like a 26-mile radius.
26, yes. Originally, the Horizon was 25, you know what I mean? So Oakland can join the league. Mm-hmm. They can.
Right. I mean, if it's up to the Horizon League to decide whether or not they really want Oakland in there, if they want, other teams like IPFW, IUPUI, Evansville, even Wayne State. Even Wayne State is actually being mentioned as a possible candidate for the Horizon League. Travel-wise, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Competition-wise, I would say that, I would say the Summit League is getting better, but I would say as far as geographic, it's better to be in the Horizon League, and I think it still creates some sense of stability to have another strong mid-major team in there.
Right.
And I think that it would be really good for the Horizon League to look at Oakland and have Oakland as in its conference. I would say to have the rivalry with Valparaiso, as I mentioned, Cole Schenzer.
Yeah, I would agree.
If you look at it with this perspective, how would Tom Dupel think if Oakland left the league? It would be a significant blow, in my opinion. But then again, you're gonna have you're moving your league out west. More in the middle part of the United States. Whereas, I understand the move of Oakland to the Horizon League, but I also, their headquarters, Summit League headquarters, is in Chicago. I mean,
No, it's Elmhurst.
Oh, Elmhurst, excuse me. But you still gotta think. You know what I mean? What's it gonna do? Could there be a possibility that they could move Oakland, IPFW, IEPY into the Horizon League?
That's
very possible. It could be a 12-team conference.
But as I said, this is all speculation. It's not all been confirmed. I mean, the Horizon League is not called Oakland. If the Horizon was to call Tracy Hoos, the athletic director, he doesn't have the final decision. It would go through President Dr. Gary Russi and the Board of Trustees, and they would be the ones who make the decision. It's standard procedure. I mean, I looked at, Oral Roberts left the Summit League for the Southland because of travel. Valparaiso left the then Mid-Continent Conference to the Horizon League for travel purposes. I look at it more as a travel, and also it helps when you get your fans to go on the road to opposing
makes sense.
games.
I still think if you look at it, it makes sense with Oakland going to the Horizon League because of travel, because of the, but also gives a chance to create new rivalries, you know what I mean, and renew that rivalry with Detroit
and Valpo.
And Valpo that a lot of people want to see.
Too, I'm not saying the Summit League is bad because, you got South Dakota State, North Dakota State, Western Illinois. I mean, You've got, those are good rivalries in a sense. But if you look at
That
travel,
distance, yeah.
the travel
Makes it hard to be a
that's
real
the
true
issue.
rivalry.
Right.
Get
That's the
your
issue with
fans out
travel,
there.
Yes.
yeah.
I think we're all in lockstep on that one, though.
Mm-hmm.
A rare occurrence here on Between Taorminas.
Very
We
rare.
all agree.
Very rare.
But you know what is not rare? The weekly call-outs.
Mm.
And I believe San Antonio is going first.
Mm.
So go ahead. Say your piece.
Well, my first call out is going to be towards an old friend of mine. Some would call him a mentor. Some would call him a statistician. Some would call him a bona fide Hall of Famer in Lake Orion sports. That's Tim English.
Oh, boy.
Tim, Lake Orion baseball, that's your thing. In 2002, you took a young person, namely me, and you helped them and you taught them things that and we were able to create a very, very good friendship. You also have a history, as I do, of taking younger kids, mentoring them, being positive influences in their lives. But the thing is, Tim, is that, I don't know. I mean, when you look at things, you look at things in life,
The big Red Wing support, I know.
Sometimes, just things, you just got to let things go,
There you go.
Take a deep, things are going to be all right. Things are going to be good, Tim, if you want to come on the show, you want to call me out, face it. Are you? I doubt you're jealous of me. I don't think you are, but I don't know. Who knows? Come on the show. We'll talk.
All right. You got another, I hear.
Yes, I got another one.
All right. Let her rip.
My second call out, superheroes.
Oh, there you go.
Why is there a picture of Bruce Banner on there?
If you've read my, I prefer villains. I prefer to act like a villain myself.
We know that.
Though in my book series, I've tended to play both a hero and a villain role.
You're a villain.
You guys are all in there too.
You're a
In Lake
villain.
Orion, I wonder. I have a question to ask. Who is your group of superheroes? Who is this group of super? I could easily tell you from who it was when we were in high school back in the day. I could tell you who it was back. I could tell you who was the true supervillains back in the day. I'd consider Sammy a supervillain.
Mm-hmm.
I'd consider Ian somewhat of
Like an Iron Man.
Ah,
Like a Tony
so-so.
Stark.
So.
Stark.
I'm Tony Stark.
I look at, I can name a list off of people who would be considered a superhero and who would be considered a supervillain. I have a question to ask Lake Orion, especially the younger kids, especially who is that superhero combination? Hey, ask me. Feel free to tell me who you feel it is on my Facebook page, Twitter page. Feel free. I'd love to see your answers.
All right.
Well, here's my guy here. I'm going to call out probably the second worst commissioner in all sports, and that is Commissioner Gary Bettman. Gary, you led the NHL to 2 lockouts. Maybe another lockout coming up. But Gary, you call yourself a commissioner for life. To me, you're an idiot. You're a loser. You're a hypocrite. Not as big as hypocrite as David Stern, but I feel like that you don't, especially the Western Conference hates your guts. Even though you do own a Western Conference team in the Phoenix Coyotes, but, people in Detroit, Dallas, Denver, especially Vancouver, they every time you come onto the ice, they boo you. They boo you. You are the worst. Every hockey fan, you are the worst commissioner in all sports. But to me, you're the second worst behind David Crybaby Stern. Okay? Bettman, if you want to call me out, call me out. I'm ready. I'll be ready to take you on. We'll even have a phone call. We'll even have a phone debate, and I'll be screaming at you and saying my peace of mind, especially what you have done to the Dallas Stars. You know what I mean? When you walked on that ice at Reunion Arena in 2000 to get New Jersey Stanley Cup, that was probably the most sickest part of my life. Gary Bettman, you're a disgrace.
Wow. All right. I guess there's one left, huh? I guess there's one call out remaining. And I'd like to call out somebody that I've known for years. I consider him a close friend, a cohort, someone I trust, someone I look up to. But he's had a lot to do with calling people out recently. You get an open camera, you turn the mic on, and you think you own the place, okay? You come into middle schools, namely Oakview, you come into my shot put ring with your kids, and you try to strike fear into their eyes. They're middle schoolers, all right? They're 7th and 8th graders. Get over it. We win, all right? We win, and that's all we do. And there you are, Sammy Taormina. It's about time someone's called you out. I'm tired of you walking around Lake Orion like you own the place, wearing your slippers and your sweatpants. I've had enough of it. It's time someone's called you out. That being said, I love you. All right. All right. Next week it's your turn, by the way. So get ready.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes. Closing message.
I want to say to recently there's been a 9-year-old boy from Clarkston named Ryan Kennedy. He is suffering from brain cancer, and one of his goals in his life is to have his message be retweeted. And I encourage a lot of you guys who have Twitter to retweet the message, also with the words Ryan Kennedy on there. Also, stay strong, my friend. You're a very good kid. In your hope and your inspiration to many people, including myself, including these guys over here. Just stay strong, my friend. We're all proud of you.
Good message. We can have a lot of fun on here, but we have a good open forum for strong messages as well. Good job. Anything else you'd like to add there, Sam?
I can't believe you called me out.
Yeah, it's about time.
I can't believe you called me out.
I'm sure if we
You
had...
called my kids out. You called my team out.
Yeah.
You called me. Everybody. I can't believe it.
I call everybody you're associated with
I can't believe you called me. I can't believe you called my whole team out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well.
You're going to get it.
All right.
You'll
that's
get
fine.
it.
Scoreboard, baby. All right.
You'll get it.
Next week, we'll talk about something. I don't know what it is. We'll see what happens. Thank you for joining us on Between Taorminas. God love you.